Cool. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the NarikChase channel. I'm your boy NarikChase, and time of this recording is like 2:30 something in the morning. I got me some really good sleep for the last episode, so decided to go ahead and watch another episode, do another reaction review for it. Uh, as you well know, if you've been following the last couple of videos, I've been doing a review of the Resident Evil series, the new one by Netflix, which they did a animated one. But anyways, talking about the new one so far, and it's just been a roller coaster ride of emotional trauma and mental abuse from just how bad this show is. But if you haven't checked out previous videos, I've already did 4 episodes. This is the 5th episode, called Home Movies. Now, before we get into the review, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on the channel. And had to remember to do that. Getting back into the habit of bringing that bad boy back into it. But let's go ahead and just get into it now. Episode 5, Home Movies. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, the episode does something a bit different than it did in the previous episodes, where in each episode there's a present day storyline being told and there's a past storyline being told, but they limited that to a pretty good degree, and I think it's done in a more effective way for the storytelling, especially the big reveals that we get in this episode. Well, the big reveals that we get in this episode, because I'll just go ahead and spoil it now. The present day storyline happens at the beginning of the episode and the end of the episode, and it's nothing but the past, telling the story what's going on. So, in the future or the present day, we see Jade get swarmed by Umbrella agents in a helicopter after she had come out of the prison. She managed to get out of prison, climb up this ladder through this manhole in the ground, and she's safe after the zombie attack down, from the previous episode. A helicopter shows up. Obviously, it's Umbrella. Umbrella agents end up swarming her, and I just have one fucking question: how in the hell did they find her? Now, one could make an argument because Baxter, who was the white guy that been hunting her the last couple of episodes, he does mention in the last episode he has a chip in his arm, and technically where she came from, he died there. So if they track the chip there, that might be a way of them finding her that location. I mean, if she would have ran or something, they probably wouldn't have found her, but because she stayed there, they found her. But okay, that kind of threw me off. It's a really cool scene. They surround her, and then you see one of the soldiers, gets ready to take the helmet off. You have a pretty good idea of who it's going to be, but before they can do the reveal of who that soldier is, he goes back into the past. Now, I'd already made the issue about how in the world, in the previous couple episodes, how in the world this actually takes place in the Resident Evil mainstream canon, and this kind of does a decent job of kind of filling in the gaps a little bit of how this is actually related to that. But okay, previous episode there was a party. This reporter guy named Rubio ended up showing up. Security forces scattered the party. Wesker's daughters were there. They ran. They found out some pretty dark stuff. Some of it having to do with Wesker himself, as well as some of the past events of what happened in Raccoon City. Wesker is looking for his daughters. And Roth, who is the other black guy that works with him I guess he's security, head of security, works with him at Umbrella, tells him Evelyn is looking for him. Evelyn, that the scene switches to Evelyn talking to her son on the phone, and for some fucking reason, I don't understand why the teenagers are all presented as being like these rebellious little assholes to all of their parents. And like there's one part where she's talking to her son, he gets grounded, and what happens? Hangs up in her face and everything. I'm like, all of these shits are just disrespectful to the parents. Either that, or Simon saw how disrespectful Jade was to Wesker and was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go that route as well. So at least she's making an impact on somebody, and that gives him a bit of edge since he is a complete sucker for Jade. Because when she said stay, he stayed. Now the mom is saying stay, he's got an issue with it. So, uh, honestly, I don't understand why that scene was even in the fucking show. That could have just been a thing where Simon just got grounded off screen. But we have to show that there's this stupid drama going on with Evelyn as well. First, we got the wife that just came out of fucking nowhere, not a son. But okay, so I thought next part was kind of weird. Because Wesker shows up with Rolf, and then Evelyn looks at Wesker and says, "You're late." And I'm thinking to myself, Rolf just got him because you just sent Rolf to get him. How is he late? That doesn't make any sense. You said this man's late when you just sent for him. But okay, fine. So Rubio, who again is the reporter guy that went to find Jade, and who Jade ended up contacting about what happened in Tijuana and everything, and is a fucking idiot because he came there to the heart of Umbrella knowing they don't like his dumb ass because he's trying to expose them. Fucking idiot. And he's all fucked up because Ralph put them hands on him. So Evelyn wants Wesker to interrogate this guy. And the reporter Rubio is a fucking idiot too because excuse me. Yeah, I got this down thing. I can't help it. Stay tired. Damn thyroid. But anyways, Rubio papers over there. So anyways, she's like, okay, he's not talking. He's not telling us how he knows what he knows what's going on. He knows about the lab incident with the dog. He knows about the security breach. He's not talking. Wesker, we need you to get him to talk. So Rubio's says it's one of the stupidest things. I know your daughters. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, Wesker has been kind of going, life and limb to protect his daughters, despite how fucking stupid they are. How close he is to Umbrella, and that's obviously not just the dog bite issue, but obviously he's, there's something important about both of them. Although they kind of make it seem like it's Billy thing, I think it's actually both, considering, the way he just tried to take care of them. Obviously, there's something going on, something special about them, and he's trying to protect them, which is what happened with the dog incident, which has happened with her being infected. He's actually a good dad in that sense. He really is. He's probably the best dad there is, just outside of the fact that he lets his stupid ass daughters talk to him any kind of way and act out any kind of way they want. But in this instance, when Rubio says, "I know your daughters," of course Wesker gets mad and aggressive, and I'm like, why would you fucking say that? It's not like he did it in a smart way. Like they by themselves. He's getting fucked up, and then the torture gets too much, and he's trying to figure out a way out of it. Then he just kind of talks. Now the way he just said is pretty much bragging and everything, and it's like you don't. Why would you say that to this man who has his, trying to protect his daughters? So when Wesker gets to fucking him up, I don't feel sorry for him because he's a fucking dumbass character. He's an idiot. Everything he's done was fucking stupid. And this is just a long line of bad decisions for him. So when Wes is kicking his ass, I have no problem. Fuck the guy. And then it goes back to the house. And Jade and Billy are talking about what's going on with Billy. What Rubio said, they're researching. They're trying to disprove the thing he said about Raccoon City. About the fact that they don't have birth certificates. About a lot of stuff about their lives that they haven't really thought about, such as information concerning Wesker, who he is outside of being their father, his past. Like there are a lot of things that Rubio said is starting to open up a big door. So these two are starting to kind of delve down the rabbit hole a little bit, and a lot of what they find is very disturbing. But they don't find it by themselves. A lot of it has to do with Simon's character. Now, one part they're looking in the room, their dad's room, I think is the dad's room, for their birth certificates to prove that Rubio is wrong because he said that they don't have any. And it's kind of weird because Jade is looking in the cabinet and she finds a gun clip in there and she finds a dog whistle. And I'm thinking to myself, why is there a fucking gun clip just lying in the cabinet like that? It's not a gun, it's the clip itself. And the dog whistles. I'm like, why is there a fucking dog whistle in there? Now I can understand them having a dog whistle, but why is it with this gun clip in the closet? I'm like, they got a dog, so it makes sense for them a dog clip. But what is the connection? So they find this tablet too, and then they can't crack the tablet, so they call Simon. Simon helps them hack the tablet. And I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck did this boy hack this tablet from his house? Now I'm sure there is technology to do that, but I didn't see them. I didn't see him do like a remote connection, or how when you have your computer and you call whatever business that, or if it's like a business computer, and you call the computer technician, and the computer technician can remotely, access the computer, but that's because it's built into the system for him to do that. I'm like, how did this boy hack this fucking tablet from his house? And Jade calls him, and he's a sucker for her, and she's kind of annoying bitch to him too, because she's like, well, I need you to come by. He's like, my mom grounded me. She's basically saying I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, you don't care if this boy get in trouble. But it was mentioned later on that she's using him. He knows she's using him, and he does not care. So if he gets fucked up in the process, she ain't gonna bat an eye about it. But okay, fine. So for some fucking reason, I still don't understand how the hell he hacked the tablet or laptop or whatever it was. Are they using the same internet connect? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Maybe he could do it because they're using the same internet, but then again, it's not like they Bluetoothed it or they could. I don't know. It wasn't explained. I could probably get past it if there was a logical explanation, but they just glossed over it. And how in the fuck he could hack the laptop that fucking fast? He's like, well, this is some security that I haven't seen Umbrella use before. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's going to have a time. Oh, he just hacked it. Well, I'm like, well, then what was the point of you saying that? What was the point of you going through the motion like that when if it's a new security system, maybe there's some kind of difficulty involved with it, and he just hacks it in like 30 seconds. So that kills the intention of that. So they're going through some information. They're looking up all the surprising stuff. They find a lot of information that again puts their faith in their father and their existence into question, as well as Umbrella. They mentioned that there's a dead drop email which is addressed to Billy, and it basically says, "Hey, if something happens to me, Umbrella is gonna go after you. I've taken some care to make sure that y'all are okay. I need you to get on that." And then they go to look for this bag that the father has for him. Simon fucking hacks the cameras in the house. I'm not sure how that. What I don't. And I know he does like blueprints. I don't fucking get how this boy's hacking all of this shit. I don't. He's like hacking the computers, looping the shit. This little bastard is just. This little bastard just on point with just hacking everything. It's either he's a exceptional hacker, or Umbrella just fucking poor in terms of security, or it just could be bad writing. And I'm thinking it's probably all three, but it's mainly the bad writing. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this boy? He hacking the camera. He hacks the cameras. He helps them. And his reasoning is uh, decent, but it's kind of stupid because Billy's like, okay, why are you helping us? And then he says, well, they're going after your father. They're probably they can probably go after my mother. And I'm thinking to myself, your mom runs Umbrella. Yeah, there's a board and everything, but they haven't really shown any power. They haven't really shown any weight. It seems like a lot of it mainly is her. So I'm thinking to myself, if Umbrella goes after Wesker, then it's probably her going after Wesker. But like I said, the board hasn't really shown much of a role. It'd be different if you see some of the board members here and there throughout these episodes, but you don't. You see them one time, and that's only to market the Joy product. So again, if they go after Wesker, then it's probably his mom going after Wesker. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else they got. So, in good old Resident Evil fashion, which I kind of liked, it was a bit of a puzzle. They had to solve clues that the father left for them to find this bag, which they do unbelievably fast. They figure out every fucking thing fast. And since we don't know much about their lives, when they're throwing when these clues and puzzles and stuff are put out, we can't really solve it with them because we don't know that much about their character. Like, there's a moment where they're playing the piano, but we haven't seen them play the piano before. So when the clues are actually put out there and one of them involves the piano, it just feels kind of left field because we haven't seen them playing the piano. There's a picture involved. We don't know nothing about the picture. This is like the first time this picture has been ever, you know, like a lot of the stuff about their past and stuff gets brought up in accordance to this, but we don't know about it because we don't know about the characters that much. All we know is they moved there. We don't really know much about their past outside the fact that they got surrogate mothers. That's pretty much it. But so they figure out everything unbelievably fast. They find a bag of money, passports. It's got a gun in it. I still don't understand why the fucking clip is in the closet and the gun's in the bag. If they need to get the fuck out of there, was the gun loaded? Was the clips in the bag? I didn't see any clips in the bag. So what would be the point of having a damn gun when the clip is in the closet? Wouldn't it make more sense for the clip to be in the bag with the gun? They have to get out of there. And it's not like, and what's weird is it's not like they had passports and stuff. And I'm like, so how would they know how to use that? They're only 14. Is there somebody else that they can contact outside of you to help them with this transition? So just two 14-year-old girls going to run out there with a bag full of money, passports, and a fucking gun and know how to, dodge an umbrella. That's kind of weird. Like, were there instructions in there on what to do? So I don't know. Did he teach them survival skills just in case some shit go down? Like, we don't know all of that. So it's kind of stupid. I mean, I guess you would think that this all happened, that when he thought this would happen, perhaps this would be in the future when they're older. But the way it's kind of set up now is like it could potentially happen now any days. So, again, a bit of communication between the family members probably would help the transition of this scene out a bit more. So, of course, Billy is in denial about everything. She's mad at Jade because Jade's forcing this and it makes her doubt her father. Because between the two, she has more love and affection for the father than Jade does. Jade is just fucking pissed. She's doing the thing where he's lied to us, he's a liar, he's a bad guy. And I fucking hate it when we have these types of reveals. But and then the person like denies that person and blames that person all like every like this man is taking care of y'all his our entire life. Yes, you're finding out stuff about him, but if you look at your life, what has your father been doing? He's been taking care of y'all, protecting y'all. Yes, if he's lying, there's decent reason as to why he was lying, and this comes up later on too. So I'm like, it just and Jay's just being dumb about the situation, and then Jay gets jealous of Billy because Wesker ends up having the dead drop email thing to Billy and not her. And I was like, that's probably several reasons. And even Billy says it. Billy says you the fuck up, essentially. And I'm like, yeah. So and all this hate and stuff and disrespect that you give your father, why in the hell would he trust you with this? I wouldn't trust your ass with this. If it was me, I would have told Billy to leave your ass and just let Umbrella take you because you're just that much of an unlikable character. So I'm like, okay, she's mad. And this is the thing, she's mad about that. Okay, fine. But this whole time, Simon's on the phone with them, helping them solve this mystery. It does feel Resident Evil-ish. Like this is something that would happen in the games, it would happen in the books and the comics. The puzzle thing I thought was okay, just a bit too easy for them. And since again we don't know much about their past and stuff, we can't really connect the dots with them as well. I hate the fact that Jade called her dad crazy. Why would she call him crazy? Again, everything that this man has done so far that we've seen is to protect them. But Jade is a bitch. The character, not the actress. And then of course there's BS drama between the two, and they fight, and who gives a fuck? Simon's a simp, of course, and this is the moment where she's like, "You know, my sister's using you." He's like, "He don't care. She's just exceptional, so that's what's attracting me to her." Fucking dumb simp. Anyway, and I'll give it. So they end up finding the doorway to the basement, and I was under the impression they knew that that basement was there. They knew their father worked in a laboratory. They knew their father took blood and stuff. That had to be go somewhere. And the way the scenes kind of play out, that they perhaps and now to think about it, they never addressed him in the laboratory. They never talk about the laboratory or any of his stuff. So maybe they didn't know that the basement was there. But part of me is like, okay, they stay in the same house. They got to know that this basement is there. But unfortunately, there's a basement in the house they didn't know about. The laboratory that's in there, they didn't know about it. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then where it's located is kind of a, I want to say quote unquote a public area of the house. A lot of traffic goes through there, and they don't know that there's a laboratory in there. That's a basement. That's kind of weird. Like I said, you would think that because he's a scientist, he would have that laboratory in the basement. They would know that there's a laboratory in the basement because that's where he works, because he's a scientist and stuff. They just don't fuck with it because that's his workroom. I would know because I have a workroom. So I don't know. That part kind of confused me. It's a scanning thing. They need a card, a key, or a chip to get in. Jade tries it. Billy tries it. Jade makes Billy try it. They can't figure it out. Jade pulls out a whistle, calls a dog, and uses the dog's chip to scan into the laboratory. Like, that makes any fucking sense. He has the dog chip to scan into the laboratory. And I'm interested to know how the fuck did Jade come to this epiphany to use the dog to scan into the basement. That didn't, yeah, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. What the fuck? Like I said, it's interesting, and if they did it in a more clever way, I would be okay with it. But the fucking dog, really? So they go into the lab. Go into the laboratory. They're looking at all of this stuff. There's shelves with toys and shit that they had when they were younger. And Wesker's been keeping up with the stuff, which that ain't really too far left, because a lot of people, when they have kids, as the kids get older, they put the stuff up. Some people throw the stuff away, give the stuff away. Some people collect the stuff, put the stuff up, memories and stuff. So I don't mind it. I actually think that maybe that's something for his character to remember these kids growing up. You can make a point that it's just something for Umbrella to study them psychologically, or for him to profile them psychologically. But I think that's because it's in the science lab. It's a bit of maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe it's a bit of him being a father, looking at this and having the memories, and a bit of psychologically profiling these characters because he has been taking notes of them over the years. So I didn't mind that. They end up finding their blood, and their reaction is weird because I'm like, your dad draw your blood like every so often. Where do you think the fucking blood would go? And that's another reason I was thinking to myself, they got to know he has to have a lab at the house or something. Otherwise, they would question where the blood goes that he takes from them. Well, they know he shoots his shit with it. So that part just, and they're so surprised that I still don't understand why they're surprised with the blood, because he takes their blood. I wouldn't be surprised, but okay, fine, fine. But then they end up finding CDs, a DVD player, CDs, and they end up finding one that said Lisa on it. And I'm like, they're not doing what I think they're going to do. And lo and behold, Lisa Trevor. Now, for those who don't know, Lisa Trevor is a character in Resident Evil canon. She was infected with the T virus, got experimented on a lot, got fucked up, and I believe it's in the mansion. She stays basically in the attic. She's like a tyrant type character. She's mutated. She can't be killed. She's actually immortal. Her character was actually featured in the Welcome to Raccoon City movie. That was a film debut. It was fucked up because they did it wrong. But they show her. They showed her in the video. They show a younger version of Wesker, and this Wesker is made to look more like the Wesker from Resident Evil 5. We got the black jacket. Now, you don't see his face. You just see a dude with a leather suit, and it sounds like Lance Reddick. And you're like, okay, that's Wesker. Now, I'm a little on the fence about this because, again, this is canon with the Resident Evil up from 1 to 5. That version of Wesker is white. Lance Reddick is black, and he's apparently a clone of Wesker. But that sounded like Lance Reddick. So are they just going to race swap the original Wesker too? And if it's not the original Wesker, if it is original Wesker, why does he sound like Lance Reddick? But anyways, so the Lisa Trevor looks, I'm on the fence about it because it looks kind of shitty. Especially the little face mask thing that she has. It does look kind of shitty. It looks poorly put together. Now, the little hump on the back, the little eye that they show later on, looks kind of cool. But it doesn't, I would think that they would do a better job of showing this mutated character. But it just, to me, it just looks so fucking low budget. Even how the camera is showing her and everything, it just does not work for me. I wish the character would be, like, that's one of the characters that you want to see and you like, oh damn, she's mutated, she's fucked up, and they put some actual effort into it looking like that. It didn't look like that. It looked like some homeless chick that they found. She had a hunchback. That's all I saw. Just a homeless chick with a hunchback with a block on her damn hands and a fucking terrible looking mask. If those were actually human faces, they should have did a better fucking job with it. I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, well, there go Lisa Trevor. How you doing, sweetie? Goodbye. Humble apple pie. So I was very disappointed with that. And then, of course, You know, there's an email. Jade reads it. She's like, and it's documenting the fact that Billy's infected. So now they know that the father knows she's infected. Those same ideas and thoughts Jade had, they know Wesker has them as well. So, okay. Jade, being the fucking idiot and impulsive idiot that she is, like them taking the videotapes, I mean the DVDs, and this right here is set in Raccoon City, the little video with Lisa Trevor, which I'm kind of weird. It's kind of weird that they would have that at the house. I mean, maybe at the laboratory, but at the house they would have that. Kind of weird, but okay, fine. So Jade, lacking any kind of nuance and being impulsive and stupid, is like, okay, this is all the proof that we need that father was at Raccoon City. This that they're experimenting on people or whatever, being evil and shit, which is what Umbrella pretty much is. And we're gonna use this. She takes the box, okay, fine. But then she tries to take the computer, unplugs it, and then the alarms go off because she unplugged the computer, and then the room is going to be sanitized. It's going to get that burn notice. And they ain't talking about the show, although y'all probably should watch it. Actually decent. Actually pretty fucking good. But so the whole room catches on fire. They can't get out because Jade closed the fucking door when they got in there. Which I never understood characters that do that. You go into a secret room somewhere and then you just fucking close the door. Or don't care that you close the door, that the door is closing. You somehow with common sense actually blocked it open just in case that happened. So the room's on fire. It looks like they're gonna die. One of the things that I did notice that I thought didn't make any fucking sense is this room is on fire, that's surrounded by fire. I don't see any fucking smoke. You would all this shit's burning, you would think they'd start coughing or something. Because, you know, room on fire and it's sealed. Air might get a little tight. Nope. Nope. And then, as you know, the fire gets put out. Wesker shows up. He ends up saving them. He's questioning them. And this is the first time you actively see him be an actual father. You can see that he's kind of confused, but he's actually pissed off. And he's questioning them. Jade is being a complete bitch. Instead of just answering the fucking questions, instead of just going with him, he says, hey, I explain all of this stuff. She's just been, you're a liar, you're a liar, fuck you. All of this stupid, over dramatic stuff. It's like, oh, we get that you're pissed. I don't understand why you're that pissed. I don't understand why you're blaming him. I mean, yes, he's lied to you, but it seems to have benefited y'all. But, and then she tries to hold a scalpel to him. And this is the part I was like, fucking go. That's what I'm talking about. Thumbs up to your pops. He grabs her, and he actually is like, I'm your fucking father, and you're gonna fucking do what I tell you. Or something like that. And then he gets hit upside the head by Billy. He hit him with something metal. And I'm thinking to myself when that happened, they took a cue from Batwoman. Because a lot of people, if you watch Batwoman, motherfuckers get hit in the head and they knock the fuck out with any damn thing. Holla at the trumpet. For those of y'all who've seen Batwoman, you know what I mean about the trumpet. So, I'm thinking they're going to go to the future. They don't. They go back. It's still in the past. Wesker wakes up. The same chair that he fixed up to tie to subdue Billy the previous night, or earlier that day, or earlier that night, whatever. The time is kind of weird. Like I said, all of this shit's fucking happening like the first week of them being there. So this is like day 3. But they put him in a chair. And I'm thinking to myself, how'd they carry this big ass man and put him in this chair? Even with 2 girls, that man's probably dead weight to them. I don't see how they put him in that chair. But okay, fine. And this is where we get the explanation about what's going on. he tells them about he tells them about the past. He tells them that they're in danger, that he has been protecting them, which he fucking has, that he just basically gives them talks about Raccoon City, reveals to them who their parents are. Just he basically gives us the big info dump. And a lot of it I think is pretty informative, especially what's going on with the show. But the more important thing is he's has highlighted that Billy got infected, but she overcame the virus. Why they call her Billy, I don't know. I think Alice would be a more appropriate name. At least Alice is a much more likable character than Billy. And they should run some tests, and because they don't know if the virus is still circulating in her blood because she beat the virus some fucking way. And I wrote this down. She's like, is the virus still in me? He's like, I don't know. We can run some tests. And Jade, dumbass, says, no test. Well, how the fuck are we supposed to know how it's affecting her? Or if she still has it, you dumb little biscuit head. How? Don't you think that seems like it's something important that we should be discussing? That we need to put that on the table? Is she still infected? We need to know that. Can she spread it? We need to know that as well. Is there some delayed effect? We need to know that. Is she immune? Can a cure be found for it? We need to know all of those damn questions, Jade. But you're such a selfish asshole. You don't think about these things. And you gotta still think about your sister too. You don't know if this is gonna affect her long term or not. You don't know if it's just gonna take her an extra day to transform. But what's your big suggestion? No test. Fucking genius, Jade. I know another Jade. She's fucking awesome. Shout out to Mortal Kombat. So anyway, Wesker also, and then we got the whole the praising of women, the acknowledgement of women in it, because apparently Billy and Jade are exceptional because Wesker altered their DNA during the embryonic stage era of their lives or development. So they're strong. One of them, I believe Jade, was who he was talking to at one point, was speaking Spanish at age 4 when she was talking to nuns. What the fuck that has to do with DNA and genetics? I don't know. I think he was going to say something like they can run faster, they can jump farther, they're physically stronger, they're smarter. But he said she was talking Spanish to some nuns at age 4. Perfect Spanish. And I'm like, if she grew up in a Spanish area, I'm quite sure by age 4 she probably picked up on some things. So I'm like, gotta do a little bit better there, writers. If y'all want to show that she's exceptional, y'all need to go ahead and get a little bit more detailed. Or you say, hey, they don't get sick. Okay, fine. That's simple. But it's more effective than, hey, when you were 4, you was talking Spanish to some nuns. The nuns, were the nuns Spanish? Did they grow up in the Spanish era? We don't freaking know because you hadn't told us what their past is, writers. So I'm not buying that. But anyways, basically that because of their genetics, that they are superior or whatever. It's probably why Billy was able to fight out the virus, which we all fucking suspected that. But anyways, Jade is being stupid. She's like, well, Umbrella, and from the video and stuff, she's basically blaming Wesker for everything that's been going wrong. But it's like, no, everything that's been going wrong is actually the result of y'all poor decisions and your impulsiveness and you being a complete bitch. All of this stuff that's going on is you. Don't sit there and blame Wesker for this stuff. Yes, Wesker has had his involvement in it, but the overarching bad guy is both over the grander scale of things is Umbrella, But for the things that's going on personally in your household, that's on y'all girls. Y'all girls sitting here making these bad decisions constantly, constantly fucking making bad decisions. But they let him go because again he's still trying to protect them. Hey, this guy Ruby, y'all know this guy Rubio? Yeah, we know this guy Rubio. This man is putting y'all in danger, and I'm gonna do what I always continue to do, and that's to protect y'all. And they're like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, just fucking kill this guy. Kill Rubio. There's the only way you're gonna stop him from talking. Kill the son of a bitch. So, uh, he tells him to be safe, and when had me thinking. I'm like, well, is he gonna fucking die? I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, I like, I did like that it didn't go jump back and forth. What I said a few episodes ago in the reviews. The jumping back and forth isn't a problem. It's but the fact that it jumps back and forth so fucking much, and the editing is so bad. It's like something they'll talk for 2 minutes, then they'll jump back to the present and future and the present, and then something happened 2 minutes later, jump back. It's like, no, you can have these long stretches like this. What works for this episode is at that long stretch of them finding out, doing this puzzle, finding out what's going on and everything, and the reveal is what I'd expected. A bit of a convenience, but I'm like, okay, fine. But then the last part of the episode is the future part comes up, and Jade is being subdued by these guards, and of course, the one soldier that takes the helmet off is grown-up Billy, and the episode ends. Um, could have been better, but the reveal kept me. I was a little engaged about how they were going to address uh, its connection to the actual canon, Wesker's role and these two girls' roles in the overarching series. I was interested in those two elements. Basically how to connect this to the actual Resident Evil canon, and the reveal about what's going on with Wesker and Billy. And so the next episode, Rubio might continue to get his ass kicked, which I'm all for. I hope they involve a really big chunk of the episode to them fucking him up, because he's an idiot. But we'll see what this episode. I will give this episode a 3 out of 5, basically because of that. Yes, the writing is complete shit, but the two things that I wanted them to address, they did address it. Again, the writing is still fucking shit. The actors are doing their thing. The characters, complete shit for the most part. Wesker's and Lance Hendrick, whatever. Lance H. LH, I'm gonna call him. LH is still doing his thing. He's actually still pretty good. I didn't like the fact that fucking Billy knocked him out. Yeah, if she hit him in the head with something, fine. But that all could have been just avoided had Jade just shut the fuck up and took a punk ass upstairs, and they could have had a conversation. But what had to happen? Dad had to get knocked out. But that did piss me off. But anyways, no, this was shorter than the other ones. Guys, in the comment section below, let me know, what did you think about this episode? Did you not like it? Did you like it? What were any highlights? I've already told you my thoughts on it. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on in this channel. And we'll definitely catch you guys later.